Hello, everyone. I'm Zoe Antoniades. You probably know me now for my Callie and Jimmy books. But before I wrote Callie and Jimmy, I also wrote a collection of short stories together with children from mostly from the schools around Hounslow. The short stories became a collection called Short Shorts. The medium length ones became a collection called Medium Shorts. And then we had some long shorts as well. And after that, we came up with lots of wintry ideas. And as it's winter now, and it has just miraculously snowed in London in November, which is quite unusual, we're all a bit excited about snow. So I'm going to read you a snowy story from Winter Shorts, especially for my friends at Smallbury Green Primary School, who are completing a winter challenge over the Christmas holidays. And part of their winter challenge is to join me for a story on YouTube. So I'm just recording this specially for them, but of course, anybody else is welcome to join in and enjoy the story. So I'm going to read to you Snowman in a Sulk, and it's on page 40, but I think I'm going to share screen now so that if you want to, you can read along with me. So let me give that a go. And I'll just shrink this down and I'll find the story. There it is. And let's see if we can make it bigger. And there's me in the corner, I think. That's me in the corner. That's a pop song, isn't it? So let's have a little read of that and see what you think. I might just read on the screen, actually. I do like reading from a hard copy as well. I don't know if you've still got one of these in your library. I've got a few spare left at home. So if you do want one of these books, let me know and I might be able to get one in the post to you. Just send me a message through social media and we'll sort that out. So this is Snowman in a Sulk by Callista, Darcy, Janassi, Jessica, Louise, Maya, Sameda and Zaki. They're all like big grown-ups now doing their GCSEs and everything. But they were about in year 3, 4 and 5 when they first wrote this story with me a few years ago. It goes like this. Snow, cried Jamie, jumping up and down at the window in his pyjamas. What are you on about? It never snows in London, scoffed his sister Margot from the top bunk. Get back to bed, it's too early. Yes, it does, and it has. Come and look, insisted Jamie. Margot slid down the rails of her bed and loped over to the window to join her younger brother. She gawped in amazement when she saw for herself the scene in their back garden. It looked like something out of a fairy tale. Everything was covered in a blanket of brilliant white. The trees, the rooftops, the hills in the park beyond, everything. Still in his pyjamas, Jamie dashed downstairs and straight out into the garden. What are you doing? Come back inside, ordered his bossy big sister. She sounds a bit like Callie, actually, doesn't she? This could be the origins of Callie and Jimmy. Why, it's Saturday. There's no school. Let's build a snowman. Jamie cheered, frolicking about in the snow, trying to catch the lace-like snowflakes on his tongue. Okay, but at least put your wellies and your coat on first, said Margot, hurrying out after him, with Yappy, their dog, scampering about at her heels. He wasn't going to miss out on all the excitement. The children worked together to roll a ball of snow around the garden. It grew and grew until it came up to Margot's middle. Now for the head, said Margot, starting on another ball. The children worked together, but Yappy wasn't so interested. He was far keener on digging. He'd dig at every opportunity, and with all that snow, it was like digger haven to Yappy. A whole extra layer to nosedive into. Yappy liked to bury everything from his plastic ball to his rubber bone to Margot's hair clips. He even once buried the remote control for the TV. It took the family weeks to work out where it was. It was only when Mum went out to the compost heap and noticed the faint red light flashing among the potato peelings that they discovered it. When the head was complete, they heaved it up on top of the body and danced around the snowman with glee. Oh, let's find the next page. Can we get the next page? Oh, there we go. But what about his face? He looks a bit scary without one, remarked Jamie. The two of them rushed around the garden and back into the house, searching for all the items and accessories they'd need. Coal for the eyes and mouth, a multicoloured woolly scarf, and a most grand black top hat to finish off the look. But there was one thing missing. I can't find a carrot for the nose anywhere, sighed Jamie. Me neither, groaned Margot. How about the compost heap? Suggested Jamie. That's a bit annoying when your phone goes off and you're trying to do a YouTube recording, isn't it? Let's hope. Let's put that on silent. Sorry about that. Where were we now? We were decorating the snowman. Coal for the eyes and mouth, a multicoloured woolly scarf, we're here, and a most grand black top hat to finish off the look. But there was one thing missing. I can't find a carrot for the nose anywhere, sighed Jamie. Me neither, groaned Margot. How about the compost heap, suggested Jamie. The two of them scrabbled around in the pile of old scraps at the back of the garden. Nope, no carrot here either. Just this rotten old potato, said Margot, holding up the knobbliest, bobbliest old vegetable anyone had ever seen. Pointy roots sprouting out of it. That sort of makes it like a carrot, doesn't it? Said Jamie. Good thinking. We'll use that instead then, agreed Margot, attaching the finishing touch to the snowman's face. It's a masterpiece, marvelled Margot, standing back to admire their handiwork. Yeah, I like it a lot, agreed Jamie. They played in the snow all day until it was time for bed. That night they snuzzled down in their bunks, their heads full of the day's excitement, until they drifted off to sleep. Thump. Margot sat up in her bed. Thump. Jamie was awoken by the noise too. What was that? He cried. Thump. It came again. The children's attention was drawn to the window. Thump! A snowball splattered against the pane, then another and another. The children dashed to the window and looked down to find their snowman in a fit of rage, stomping about the garden, his brow furrowed, hurling snowball after snowball directly at the children's bedroom. What's wrong with him? Wondered Margot. I don't like it, whispered Jamie. Don't be such a baby. Let's go down and see what the matter is. The children raced downstairs, grabbed their coats and wellies, and waded out into the garden. Yappy, also stirred by the commotion, came scampering after them. The rampaging snowman continued to fire snowballs at the children, giving Margot a white beard and Jamie a fluffy hat. Stop! Cried Margot. Why should I? Fumed the snowman. This is your fault after all. What are you talking about? We didn't do anything, retorted Margot, ducking another snowball. Then allow me to enlighten you. I'm most probably the finest snowman the world has ever seen, he began, strutting around the garden as if to prove it. I have the grandest top hat, a luxury woolen scarf, and yet, you have the audacity for a nose. So that was his problem. What are we going to do? Panicked Jamie. Don't ask me. It was your idea to use the potato, snapped Margot. I didn't hear you disagreeing. You even called it a masterpiece, argued Jamie. Huh, some masterpiece, sniffed the snowman. Okay, we're sorry. Now, let's have a think, said Margot. But if you could kindly stop hurling snowballs at us, that might be a start. Snowman folded his arms and slumped down in a sulk. Whilst the children thought and thought, Yappy was frantically digging. After some time, he scampered up to the children and began running around them in circles. Not Now, Yappy, huffed Margot. We're trying to think, Yappy, sighed Jamie. He persisted. We said not now, scolded Margot. Yappy gave up on the children and bounded over to the Snowman instead. The excited pup dropped something in his frosty lap and wagged his tail. What have you got there, chap? Inquired the Snowman. The children dashed over to see what it was. Good boy, Yappy, cried Margot. You found the carrot. Indeed he had, for Yappy was a dog who buried everything, including carrots, it seemed. The Snowman plucked the potato from his face and flung it back on the compost heap and replaced his nose with Yappy's carrot. That feels wonderful. I must now be the grandest snowman in all the world, he declared, parading around the garden with pride. At last, the snowman was complete. He was indeed the finest snowman the world had ever seen, and all thanks to Yappy. So that was a short story that appears in Invincible Voices Winter Shorts. And that was written by a group of children together with me in a creative writing club that we used to come together in a few years ago. So you may still find these in your libraries at school. If not, give me a shout on social media and I'll see if I can get one out to you in the post. Because they're a little bit out of circulation now, but I've got a small box of them left under my bed. And we're still really proud of these stories. So maybe I'll read you a few more over the Christmas holidays to enjoy. Until then, have a brilliant Christmas holiday, happy reading, and a very happy Christmas. Catch up with you again very soon. Bye, everyone.